What up from the Artist Spotlight? I'm your host, Dylan Schoonover. We're chilling with Matisyahu here at Dance Festopia. How you doing, sir?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good to see you. You just got in for your first date of a long stretch run on the tour, right?
That's right. Well,
What are you guys gonna bring to the stage? That I don't know. I think you guys are a little different than a lot of the artists that are here. What are you gonna bring?
this seems sort of it's a kind of a hip hop festival, mostly Midwestern hip hop, and that's not really our thing, but we have elements of that we incorporate. So we are more like a fusion type of band. We incorporate some hip hop and some reggae and some dub and some rock. So I think it'll be something a little fresh and a little bit different for the listeners that are here.
Sunshine, new single, right? How did you pit that one as the single? I always feel like when you're getting a new album ready, it'll be very difficult to choose the single.
Yeah, I think that's the first song that me and the producer made. It was 2 years ago we got together. We met through a friend and worked on it together, and we wrote that song. Me and him, Kojak, and my guitar player from the dub trio, Dave Holmes. And I don't know, I felt that was the one to go with. At first, I felt like the chorus is really big in it. It's a really good summer song. The record's coming out in the summer, and it was the first song we made. It should be the first song that goes out.
The other interesting thing that you said that you basically wrote or created Sunshine 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So does it feel, even though it's really new
right
to most people, does it feel really old to you?
Well, yeah, that's the way it goes. You're always sort of like a step ahead, because it takes a year or 2 years for a song to come out, one from the time of conception. You know what I mean? Which is interesting. It's interesting in the Bible. There's a law about the first 3 years of a tree. Like when you plant like a tree and the tree is growing, you can't cut fruit from the first 3 years. So with our children, we don't cut their hair for the first 3 years. It's interesting as you make a song, it's not like it doesn't kind of come out into the world for like 2 or 3 years. You don't reap the benefits of that song for a couple of years.
We talked a little bit about identity and your beard and Sunny and that type of thing. It almost made it sound like you kind of alluded to a lot of musicians kind of put up a facade of who they are. Do you feel that way about it?
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a facade. I think it's more of like a character that you play. It's more like you get into the music and it brings out something very real in you, but it also, you become, it's almost like when you step into a phone, like Clark Kent going and becoming Superman, and you're becoming like a superhero. You're going out onto that stage, the music is taking over, and you gotta let yourself get into it. You gotta let yourself go. And some people take that to a certain level, to a certain place where, in my opinion, it might be too much. Other people, like myself, at times don't go enough into that. Sometimes I'll walk out onto a stage and just be like, I don't care. I'm not feeling this, and I'm not going to try to make myself. I'm gonna let, because for me the music always is the thing that's got to get me. You know what I mean? And if I go out, there's a lot of things in your life that you can bullshit, but in my life, like, I never want to bullshit with music. You know what I mean? I never want to sing a lyric, sing a word, or rap a verse where I'm not in it, where I don't feel like I'm sticking into it. You know what I mean? And basically, I've had times where I go out on stage and just sort of wait for that moment to happen, and just kind of start out easy. Even a festival where there's maybe 20,000 people out there, and you're supposed to come out with a bang and a big boom. But sometimes I'll sort of stumble out onto stage and just kind of wait for the music to take me, and then it always does. I can't point to one show, after probably playing, 1,000 concerts, literally, that I could say, I didn't at some point feel it was coming from a real place.
Biggest blunder you've had on stage that you can remember? Fall off a stage, hurt yourself, anything interesting?
One of my first tours, when I started with stage diving a lot, I had the concept of not being caught just never came into my head, because I had always been caught. And my first video that came out was at Stubbs in Austin, and there was a stage dive in that, and it was King Without a Crown. It was this Hasidic guy singing and jumping off the stage. So everyone kind of knew I was going to stage dive that. So everyone always caught me, and then we played one time somewhere in Florida at some college, big college in Florida, and some college bar, and I just had my back to the audience, and I just like got excited, and I was like, now's the moment. And I turned around and jumped off the stage, and there was not a lot of people at the show. There was a big pocket, empty pockets, and I just took down like 3 or 4 frat guys just kind of with their beers, and we all went down hard, like really hard. And then everyone got up, everyone was okay, but I kind of like limped myself back to stage, and it's just like, I guess I'm gonna keep singing, but I'm not gonna try to act cool because I'm obviously not cool, and I'm obviously an idiot, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Though,
That had to be a very humbling experience for you.
Very humbling.
Modest, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna see you take a stage coming up next.
So lose your back, back till we say, come along now, take my hand, we'll walk together, walk forever, reach for the sky, your eye on the prize, forever by my side, be my golden sunshine, just waiting in your mind, so push those clouds aside, forever by my side, you're my golden sunshine.